Welcome back, travelers of the internet. This is Master Barkle with Brighthelm Recording. Last we left off, we claimed Kadnua with a castle of our own. And we also learned about, the whole Watcher thing, and I'm probably going to go mad soon, but we're not going to focus on that. Let's go find the queen that was. But first, Kana wants to talk to you.
I confess, I was hoping our meeting with Mayorwald would go a little differently. But then, you have gained an entire keep. I don't think I've seen anyone inherit land that quickly since Kine the Younger read her father's will.
I did come to the Deer Wood looking for a new home. There, see? The ship floats yet. This might be good news in the end. Whatever else may happen, you have an entire castle to explore and answers yet to come in Defiance Bay if Mayorwald spoke true.
It will give you a base from which to go searching at least. And then, there are secrets beneath the keep yet. With you at the helm, it should be easier to explore the endless paths.
I agree. Let us press on. So here's the Eastern Barbican fixed. Feels
Bit
more...
just like your breeches, scholar lad.
I beg your pardon?
Nothing. I said nothing.
You definitely said something. But more people wish to talk. Adair, I'm sorry we didn't get to talk to him about your brother.
That old Watcher. I don't know what I expected, but it sure wasn't that.
You said you had things you wanted to ask him.
Nah, it's kind of embarrassing now. I just got a dumb idea in my head is all. Don't know why I thought it'd work. It's funny. That's probably the first thing I got my hopes up for in, I don't know, years. At least I got that out of it.
I don't like suspense.
All right. Guess fair is fair, and you did bring me to see him. Those rumors back in Gilded Vale about my brother, Woden, about how he turned against us and fought for Widewind, been on my mind for some time now. The thing about Woden was, he always knew what was right, and that's what he'd do. One day he set out to fight for Deerwood against a man claiming to be our god. So I knew that's what I had to do too. It was right. Hearing claims that he'd died fighting for Ray and Saris, that got me worried. Not that he'd chosen the wrong side, but that I had. Didn't seem right what Widewind had in store, but if he really was Aethys, I thought, maybe this old Watcher would know how my brother died, so I could see if it was true. Like he could, I don't know, get it in my soul or something. Use our connection. Told you it was dumb.
Why didn't you ask me for help? I'm a Watcher. Guess because I didn't know you. It's hard to trust a stranger that says he's a Watcher.
Of course, I knew the truth deep down. The Watcher's not psychic. I think I just had this idea, and the idea made me feel a certain way, and I didn't want to lose that.
It's good to hold on to something. Really, if I wanted to find out about my brother, I shouldn't be starting with Watchers. I should be starting with records. Well, are we sure they contain records on each and every single person? Like, they would do that nowadays, but... wouldn't be any worse off then, would I? Adair thinks a moment, his lips twisted to one side. He raises his eyebrows. If there's anything written down about it, they'd have it in Defiance Bay. They got an archive at that palace.
You've done a lot for me already, but if you could see fit to pay that archive a visit with me, well, you know. Knowing my luck, the records clerk will go crazy and try to kill me. I'd feel better with you in there with me.
I'm pretty good at killing things. And now Aloth wants to talk. Aloth seems lost in thought. He flinches when you draw near, sucking a sharp breath through his teeth.
What can I do for you?
Rollen Tallstag. You can start by explaining what's going on.
I wish I could. But as to walking memories and the old man who can no longer distinguish them from reality, I fear I'm at a loss. And if Mayorwald is to be believed, it would seem you've an uncertain future ahead.
I don't know what to think. But there's no point in speculating now.
Perhaps Defiance Bay holds the answers we need.
Yeah. I can't ask him about it. Okay, so Rollen Tallstag doesn't know. But Master Barkle knows. Master Barkle is all-knowing. The Wood End Plains. Okay, could we not get through by Madmar Bridge? Oh, jeez, combat. Okay. Alright. That dumb Zalrip. See what I mean? Combat gets kind of repetitive. Like, it's not bad, it's just repetitive. Harder difficulties just mean more hit points and more damage. In some circumstances, if you're going up against like a wizard or something, they do use different spells, which could be interesting. But it's kind of rare you're going up against wizards. Damn looters, can't be bothered to find an honest wage. Curse my luck, the woman mutters, kicking her foot into the ground and upturning a clod of soil. As you approach, her ears twitch and she turns to greet you. Hail, traveler. The bridge to Defiance Bay is out, if that's where you're headed. You'll need to find another route. Dadgummit. What destroyed the bridge? The river has been rising on account of all the storms. Here, where the river narrows, the flooding did the most damage. Guess they don't make things to last around here, do they? One of the stone columns collapsed in a flash flood, taking the whole middle section out of the bridge out to sea. Madmar Bridge was the most direct route from Gilded Vale to Defiance Bay. Merchants and travelers now have to find boat passage or add days of extra travel to loop around the bay. So I started a ferry service, thinking I'd earn some coin and help others cross the bay. That was a bigger mistake than that time allowed. A cipher to court me. That was a bigger mistake than that time I allowed a cipher to court me. How was that a mistake, though? Oh, because they could read your mind? Oh, that's not good, I guess. I had been attempting to turn a quick copper, but just my luck. Blasted curtains, threw my ferry into the rocks, dashed, and my profits to pieces. Making matters worse, when I went to prowl the shore to salvage whatever shipping crates didn't sink, a pair of looters attacked me. She stomps her foot into the ground. The damn brigands had the nerve to attack. I managed to avoid harm, but now they've stolen by force. All that is left of my fortune. You know, you look like you'd fare better against those looters than little old me. Can I enlist your help? I'll take a look. It depends on what you got there. Thank you. I'm sure those thugs have made a mess of my stock, but maybe there's something to be saved. Maybe. But there might be treasure, too. I'd like treasure. They attacked first. Well, certainly not well equipped for looters. Some drugs on the wall. These guys don't care. Gathered around the soggy timbers of a ship wreckage, men and women pick through the driftwood, snatching muddy silverware, moldy clothes, chipped pottery, and anything they can spot amongst the detritus. All eyes turn to you as you approach. The group trade nervous stares at you until, at last, a woman in muddy clothes steps forward and speaks. "Where are Bretel and Terran?" she asks. "They were just up along that path and we heard fighting." Her eyes narrow and a hand moves towards a knife on her belt as she anticipates your reply. "They attacked us? First of all, you killed them." You see Hanwin's eyes tear up before she buries her face in her hands. The men and women around her take a step back, eyeing you cautiously. "You speak of self-defense! Well, we were defending ourselves from the storm." Her voice rises and her face grows flushed with emotion. The floods took our entire farm. We have nothing left. Nothing. No food, no roof. And now I don't even have my cousins. She throws up her hands in despair. We don't want to fight you. We've lost enough already. Please just leave us. I mean, we're just investigating some missing cargo, is all. Okay? Looting? But this is a wreck. What value does it have? The men and women all turn to her, their faces frightened and worried. Please, we need these supplies dearly. The storm took everything from us. It is not our desire to steal, but we are destitute. Should we let these wares just sink to the river bottom? I'm not really interested in sob stories, you know? Like, then you leave us with no choice. I just wanted to take a look at the loot. If I wanted it, then I would have killed you guys and told Peregrine, you know, oh, there was nothing left behind. You know, if it was just food or, you know, something like that, I would have allowed you guys to have it. And I would have told Peregrine, oh, there's nothing really here, you know? Because, honestly, it seems kind of like she's a charlatan. But I guess we gotta fight.
Great.
Well, what was the loot they were so desperate to die over, huh? Ooh. Interesting. The frayed end of the rope drifts in the river. Ferry cargo. Primarily soggy clothing and dirty food. Yep. It was unnecessary. My helpful stranger returns. Have you managed to find anything yet? Even if all you found is driftwood, just knowing those looters got what they deserved would moisten my breeches. Why would you say that? I'm still looking into it. Oh, do they want me to go grab it, steal it, I guess? Okay, fine. Would these happen to be your wares? Thank you. I was beginning to think it had all sunk into the bottom of the river. Consider this a small token of my gratitude. I will reward you properly when you visit me at my shop in Defiance Bay. Oh, okay. It was shop in Defiance Bay. Alright. Interesting. Still feel like I didn't need to kill those people.
Looks like we're taking the long way to Defiance Bay.
Yeah? No kidding. The bridge is out. Long way it is. Wait, 600 copper? I thought that said experience. Sweet. That lady actually paid me a decent wage, unlike those farmers in Gilded Vale. A day in 22 hours? Oh. Crikey. That's a long walk. Bright Hollow restoration complete. Oh, it's a body here. Dead adventurer. He was rich. Yoink. Got a little plateau here. Can we find a lion up here? Roaring at the top of his lungs. Wine dregs swirl around the bottom of the clay jar. Oh, good deal of money there. Loot in this cart. Don't care if it belongs to someone. The pretty stone and some more gold. Nice, nice. Looks like a little farm here or something. Fields looking a little for the worse. Is this the Lion Plateau? I don't know, I see that little rock wall there, I don't think so. Oh, never mind, it is. This is where you will find the lions. Listen to them roar. I think we got a few more level ups. Oh, several level ups. Everyone leveled up. a lot of trails that meet here. This is a bit of a crossroads. There's a lot of nothing, too. Just openness.
Hush, Itumak. We'll just wait a little longer.
Sagani. A dwarven woman dressed in skins and hides leans against the road marker. Her face is turned down, her eyes darkened by a thick stripe of face paint. She's sharpening a bone arrowhead with a scrimshaw-handled knife. Her attention, however, is focused on a bear figurine between her feet. A large white-furred fox standing at her heels looks up at your approach.
Easy, Itumak. It's not him.
Uh-huh. Who are you waiting for?
Short version? I'm looking for a very, very old friend. I'm not sure what skin he's wearing now,
Skin?
but I'll know him when I see him.
What? What? Huh? Bear? I don't see a bear down there. Oh, yeah, that's a tonk. Your friend is supposed to meet you here?
That's what I heard. Of course, the man who told me so was carrying a staff he claimed was made from dragon bone, but I know Whitewood when I see it. That should have been my first clue, but I had to try something.
What does this have to do with your friend?
The long version. Here we go. I'm from an island to the far south called Nasitak. I came here looking for a village elder, a man we knew as Persok. I'm a hunter back home, so tracking someone wouldn't normally be a problem. But Persok's trail is cold, to say the least.
There can't be that many of your people in the Deerwood. He died when I was still a young girl. Forgot to mention that part, did I? I'm looking for his latest reincarnation, which could be anyone. What? Are we sure his name is still Persok? So, like, you're looking for that soul of somebody, right? Not necessarily the person. Are you trying to awaken them or something? Because that sounds like that could be trouble for that person, you know? They could be just some farmer going about their business, and then this dwarf hunter lady with a white fox shows up and is like, Persok. Nope, my name's Bill. Sorry. No, you're Persok. No, I'm Bill. I don't understand this. How long have you been looking for Persok? 5 years. I feel like this is exactly how the search would go, honestly. You've been searching 5 years for a stranger you barely remember, who could be anyone now. You sound crazy, lady.
That about sums it up.
Sounds like a waste of time.
Feels like it some days. Especially when I can't get so much as a flicker out of that thing.
That statuette? Well, it is Audra, so it might have, like, a fragment of his soul, maybe? Or something. Which... How does it figure into it? She dusts the figurine on her treasures and raises it to her small flat... She raises it in her small flat palm. It's carved in the shape of a bear, smooth and round. The polished Audra is worn to a dull matte, along with its arched back and ovid haunches. A soft glow emanates from within.
Cute, isn't it? It belonged to Persok. Before he returned to the wheel, he left a splinter of his soul in it. Something to help us find him later.
She's mentioning Bareth's wheel. Bareth, god of death, in case you forgot. As she holds it out to you, you feel wisps of sensation, not quite memories, but traces of someone.
When I left Nasitak, it was completely dark inside. But as I've gotten closer to Persok, it's glowed steadily brighter. Since I've reached the Deerwood, however, it's gotten hard to read. Some days it flickers and goes dark. Others it shines nice and bright, for a few hours. But most of the time, it looks just like this.
Maybe he's a fly. And he's traveling the land? No, he would die within like a week, and you've been searching for 5 years. So something with a longer lifespan of a fly, but something that comes and goes wildly. Maybe it's broken? I could take a look at it.
I've heard that one before. Whole reason I'm standing here is because some so-called watcher from Forkvale told me he could take a look. For a few golden dukes, of course.
Of course. But see, here's the thing.
I was on my way out of the Balmarsh when I heard talk of a traveling mystic who could supposedly see souls. I knew it was a long shot, but what did I have to lose? I went to see this fellow and gave him the Audra figurine. He made a big show of moaning and rolling his eyes, and after I'd given him 5 golden dukes to lift the shroud, he told me to seek the crossroads in the field between the wolf's lair and the twining trees.
5 golden dukes. A single golden duke is worth 12 coin pieces, so 12 times 5. That's 60 coins, eh? That's a good deal of money, huh? Well, what's the wolf's lair? Defiance Bay. Locals call the current duke Wolfgren. Sound like he'd be a fun to drink with. Is Twining Trees a real place? He meant Twin Elms. I haven't been there yet, but I hear they have some especially memorable trees.
He thought he was being vague, but I know the area well enough to recognize that he meant this place. Right between Defiance Bay and Twin Elms. I had a bad taste in my mouth, but my coin was spent and I'd already left an arrow in his knapsack as a friendly warning. Told him I'd come back and leave him with another if it turned out he was giving me the runaround. I've been here a week now. Guess he had the last laugh after all.
Well, you could go after that false watcher. I was mostly trying to scare him. I wouldn't really kill a man over a few gold pieces. I don't have much use for coin anyway. Besides, knowing his type, he's cleared out of town by now and spent whatever he made. May I see the figurine?
Why?
Well, I'm a real watcher. Trust me, bro.
You expect me to believe that? After the story I just told you?
Well, I'm telling the truth.
Fine. But if you try to run, just remember that my arrows are faster.
I'm very well aware. I have a bow of my own. You raise the Audra bear, turning it into light. As your eyes catch a tiny glinting scratch, the scenery around you melts away. You're standing on a cliff overlooking the water, seeing through eyes that aren't your own. You catch the musk of beasts amidst the fresh scent of vegetation, and your heart beats a little faster. You'll have to watch your step up here. You look down just long enough to see the sharp, pale cliffs drop into the water hundreds of feet below you. Breathing deeply, you smell salt in the air. Wherever you're standing, wherever Persock is standing, must be near the ocean, not a lake. I see a vision of cliffs high over the water. Does that sound familiar? Question is greeted with shrugs and silence. Well, he's standing on a cliff.
What are you talking about? What just happened?
I told you. I'm a watcher. And I didn't get 5 golden dukes, so I feel, fair payment. Pay it up. I know this sounds strange, but it's the truth.
You realize I've got no coin to give you, even
crap.
if I did believe you.
Well, you do have a character portrait, which I've noticed the trend that those with the character portraits tend to be the ones who are companions. Everyone else... Wait, no. Because... What was his name? Did he have a name? The guy with the mask and the, ornamental headdress who made me a watcher in the first place. He also had a character portrait, but all the companions so far have had character portraits, and I feel like this is probably the right option.
If this is your idea of a joke, you may be stuck with me for a while. Lead the way.
Okay. So we have another ranger in the party. Interesting. There are commoners walking this bridge. At least it's not gone with the flood like the other one. I don't know how the flood took out stone pillars. Unless it was the work of the gods. Justica, welcome to Defiance Bay. But watch yourself in our city, understand?
How do you do?
What can I do for you? I'm looking for the Temple of Hurika. Not sure why you'd want to go there. It's in First Fires if you really want to see it. You seem to be on edge, sir. Thousands of them, truth be told. We've got refugees coming in from all parts, under some misguided notion that things are actually better here, that the legacy somehow passed us over. So they show up with no prospects and little money and just end up making a worse mess of things. No offense. None taken. I'm not exactly a refugee, and I don't exactly have children in my womb. Copper Lane. Take you 15 minutes to enter the city. There's a lot of checks, and they gotta pat you down. Go contact
Defiance
TSA.
Bay, the city at the heart of the Deerwoods Revolution, now seems on the brink of another. Refugees line the streets, homeless and hungry, displaced by White One's legacy, hoping for relief within the city walls, and finding none. Dissidents congregate to protest and to heckle, calling for an end to animancy and the ouster of their duke. The city's militiamen cast fearful looks as they patrol the streets, their hands trembling at the hilts of their weapons. The capital of a country that had not long ago incinerated a god now appears to be a spark away from sharing the deity's fate.
I'm pretty sure they just blew up Aethys. They didn't incinerate him. Well, I guess boom equal fire plus a good dead god? I don't know. Okay, we're through all that. You know, getting hassled by security and all that. Ooh, loot. A warm welcome to Defiance Bay. It's giving me drugs. Wonderful. These animators have brought the fine wrath upon us all!
Gods keep you.
Who's this?
New in town, eh? You've picked an interesting time to visit Defiance Bay. All these refugees fleeing the frontier and finding the legacy's no better here. It's the Animancers, migrant scorch 'em. And they nest in this city like rats. You mark my words, though, us dozens are gonna put a stop to it.
The dozens?
We're an organization of interested citizens who want to free Defiance Bay from the dangerous influence of Animancers and the tyranny of the aristocrats who support them. We also consider ourselves a militia of sorts, seeing as the Crucible Knights are a little more than a flock of preening nobles in training these days.
Just like a militia, the dozens. Except for the training, and the discipline, and the code of honor.
And we're always looking to expand. The more people see things our way, the better for the state of the country. You have any interest in hearing more, stop by Artemis Den sometimes. The Expedition Hall, a lot of free thinkers in there. Can set straight all the nonsense the nobles and the Animancers want you to believe. Might even be some paid work there for motivated types.
What are you doing out here then?
Trying to get folk to see reason. We're in the midst of a crisis, and instead of purging the nefarious forces from our city, the Duke is granting Animancers dangerous liberties.
What do you know about animancy?
It's the study and manipulation of essence, which any sane person, I'll tell you, is the purview of the gods.
What?
The Ideans at least had the sense to outlaw it, which is the only good thing you could say about them. It's not like magic, chanting, or the soul readings those ciphers do. It's been around since ancient Inguithan times, which is why you'll see Animancers tinkering with old Inguithan artifacts.
Man, this guy's turned from like gangster to farmer gangster. Half-truths all, but he's an enthusiastic performer, I'll give him that.
Trouble is, the Animancers got no idea what half those artifacts actually do. Not that they'll admit it.
Our emphatic friend is correct about one thing, at least. Farewell to that crazy guy, I guess. So, we're looking for trouble here in Copper Lane. He said First Fires is where we'll find the place. Wodica? Yeah, Wodica. There is a marketplace. Oh, I could find treasures there. Or I guess buy treasures. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Let's go do that. Heritage Hill claims another curious soul. We remind all visitors to Defiance Bay that the hill is sealed for the city's protection. The hill? Oh, hey, that's Peregrine. Oiland woman bounces up and down at your approach. Remember me? We're met by Madmar Bridge. She slaps you playfully on the shoulder. Thanks for helping me out back there. As promised, I'll give you the best prices in town. If it weren't for you, I'd still be broke. What do you have? Worthless. I mean, I guess.
The dozens. Pretty sure you won't find one among them who stood within 100 miles of that bridge when the Godhammer went off. Too bad, too. Then there'd be less of them.
Godhammer? That's what they called the bomb they blew up Leaden with. Don't know much about it other than that. Anything kills a living god? Guess you gotta name it. Why do they call themselves the Dozens? Was 12 dear woodens stood outside Howlgott Citadel waiting for Widewind to cross the bridge there. They had to hold him there long enough for the Godhammer to detonate. So that's what they did. What do you have against the Dozens? Nothing serious. Nothing I don't have against a lot of folks anyways. The Dozens, they like to take things into their own hands. Gets ugly sometimes. We don't have them in Gilded Vale, but they'd be right at home there. They picked that name so they could do what they wanted and feel like it was right. Got nothing to do with honor or sacrifice. They like to invoke Mogren too, when they especially want to feel right. Somehow I don't think she'd be too impressed with that lot. I'm sure she'd like to set them on fire anytime they use her name, but the gods probably got rules against that kind of thing. Yeah, I can feel that. People hide behind symbols so they can't be questioned. The Duke's a reasonable man. Maybe while we're in Defiance Bay, we can get him to force people to call themselves what they are. Don't imagine they'd have as many members if they called themselves the loudmouth sheep fuckers. I agree. Probably not as many followers. But they'd still be someone. And that's dangerous. Well, we want to go to First Fires, right? Okay, let's go to First Fires then.
You're from Gilded Vale? Then you're close to home.
Close can mean a lot of things.
Surely you'll go back when this is all over.
Dunno. Guess that all depends.
Interesting bit of interaction there. Where would this temple be? There, the place named Temple of Wodaka? Okay. It looks to be a bit like ruins, in my opinion. But, you know, maybe that's what Wodaka prefers. I don't know her. She's god of justice, right? Of the justice? Yeah, justice, laws, oaths, promises, rulership, vengeance, memory, and hierarchies. Yeah. She definitely likes...
This would be the temple Merwald spoke of, or what remains of it.
Praise to the exiled queen. May her crown be restored and her justice prevail. Come to pay your respects to the queen that was.
Maybe? Does she cure me of madness?
And so you did. These savage colonists may have burned it down, but worship of the Oathbinder is alive and well. These stairs lead to the main sanctum.
Stairs?
These stairs, of course. The sanctum was always below ground, adjacent to the catacombs, so it wasn't destroyed by the fires. There are various entrances throughout Defiance Bay, but I dare say the easiest to reach is in Copper Lane. I haven't been to that part of town in ages, but as I recall, it's somewhere near the southern gate.
Catacombs in Copper Lane. It's truly a pity to see what the locals have done to Wodaka's house of worship. You know you're a ghost, right?
I beg your pardon? Is this some sort of joke where you come from?
I'm serious, just look at yourself.
A madhouse. That's what this town really needs.
He doesn't believe me. What are you doing then?
Worshipping Woodaka, the exiled queen and oathbinder. I come every day to offer my devotion. I'd love nothing more than to book passage back to Adia, but it is my emperor's wish that I serve in these barbaric lands. And so I do.
For everyone else there, it must be like, why is he telling somebody that they're a ghost? Who is he talking to? What? Who are you?
Lord Ardwellen Rugfold III, and pleased to make your acquaintance. I came to the Deerwood on one of the first ships from Adia, and unlike the yokels and hut dwellers around here, I still keep to the old ways.
Interesting. The old ways, he says. All right. Looked almost like you'd lost your footing for a minute. You'll have to get used to it. Yeah, it feels that way when I see into the ether. You really are a watcher, aren't you? Once in a great many generations, one of my people is born with the ability to speak to souls. Usually such individuals become elders, or a lone set of tracks in the snow. I would have thought my journey would be easier if I could see what you would see. But looking at you, I'm not so sure. And neither am I, to be honest. Believe it or not, I once would have rejoiced to know I've picked to travel far in search of something great. But even these gifts come with a cost, don't they? Forgive me if I was a little skeptical of your abilities before. I can't say I've met a real watcher before. Oh, don't worry about him. He just likes doing that from time to time. Seems to cheer him up, so I just let him. Thanks, Adair. Once you've seen it a few times, the shock wears off. Every time he goes a little strange in the face, I try and see if I can hear anything. It hasn't worked so far. See if you can get him to tell you what the spirits said. Why can't you guys just listen to the spirits? Tell that guy he's a ghost. Well, back to Copper Lane, I guess. Easy, officer. I feel like I kind of want to explore the rest of town first. They said the hill's sealed, so I can't go there. So let's go to Andra's gift. Well, that's all we have time today for Brighthelm recording. I have always found that mercy bears richer fruits than strict justice. This is Master Barkle, signing off.